Hello, my name is Lou Long, and I am the very proud principal at Port Charlotte High School. I want to thank you for taking the time to view our virtual celebration of Black History Month for this school year. Every February, our school gets the opportunity to learn about the men and women of color who have impacted their communities and our country throughout our nation's history. Since we founded our Diversity and Reunification Team, or DART team, 2 years ago, the students that have made up our DART team have taken the lead to help our school and community celebrate the rich history of Black Americans. This year is no different. Obviously, the COVID-19 pandemic has precluded us from gathering together in celebration this year. The DART team decided, after our initial brainstorming session, to put together this virtual montage for everyone to enjoy. Even though February is officially Black History Month, our staff and students continue to embrace the differences reflected in our school population. This allows us to support one another when needed and celebrate the successes achieved throughout the school year. I hope you enjoy the video as we celebrate Black History Month. Again, thank you for watching.
Greetings, this is Dr. Paul A. Curtis, Assistant Principal at Port Charlotte High School, also the co-founder of the Diversity and Reunification Team, the DART Club. As you may notice, there are several students from the DART Club that will be presenting today in this video. Hey, Black History Month is an annual observance and celebration of past, present, and futuristic African Americans and leaders. This prestigious moment has acclaimed official recognition from the United States, Canada, and other countries. Mr. Doris Miller was a great African American historian that will be discussed today. Doris Miller was from Waco, Texas. Doris was a U.S. Naval serviceman noted for his bravery during the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941. He was the first African American recipient of the Navy Cross for his valor. Mr. Miller worked on his family's farm and played football in high school before he enlisted in the U.S. Navy. During the Japanese attack at Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941, Doris manned a gun magazine amidship but was damaged by a torpedo. Without hesitation, Doris Miller moved the heavily wounded to safety, including his commander. Miller's actions during the attack earned him an accommodation from the Secretary of the Navy, Frank Knox, and the Navy Cross. On June 30, 1973, the Navy commissioned the frigate as USS Miller in his honor. Thank you for your acknowledgement and support for this celebratory event for Black History Month. We must continue to work together as one. Hashtag Charlotte County Strong. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Colleen Morse. Today I'm presenting this remarkable woman who made a tremendous change and influenced American history. Mae Jemison is an American physician, engineer, and a NASA astronaut. She became the first African American to travel into space. Education-wise, she studied at Stanford University with a scholarship. She earned a Bachelor of Science in Chemical Engineering in 1977. She also was a professor in the Environmental Studies program at the Dartmouth College. Jemison worked at NASA from 1987 to 1993. She conducted experiments while on her mission in space. She created an international space camp for students called the Earth for Share. She inspired people across the nations to believe in themselves and know that everything is possible. Thank you.
Martin Luther King Jr. was a Baptist minister and social rights activist in the United States in the 1950s and 60s. He is a leader of the American Civil Rights Movement. His portrait is often displayed alongside those of presidents and religious figures. For many, his image evokes the ongoing fight for racial equality. He organized a number of peaceful protests as head of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, including the March on Washington in 1963. He traversed the country in his quest for freedom. He is greatly remembered by I Have a Dream speech that impacted so many individuals' lives. Within his speech, he fought for equality using the rights guaranteed by the First Amendment. King's Dream speech would play an important role in helping pass the 1964 Civil Rights Movement. Unfortunately, his life was ended by an assassin bullet in 1968. However, his legacy still lives on to this day.
Hi, my name is Nease, and in celebration of Black History Month, I'd like to talk about the achievements of Thurgood Marshall. So Thurgood was born in Baltimore, Maryland in 1908. And as a child, he attended many court cases with his father because this is one of his father's hobbies. So this sparked his interest in law, and he was a very intelligent student and eventually became a lawyer for the NAACP. Later in his career, he was appointed by Lyndon B. Johnson as the first African American on the Supreme Court. On the Supreme Court, he was part of the Brown v. Board of Education decision. This struck down the separate but equal doctrine and led to the integration of public schools and eventually other public places. He also helped strike down many other Jim Crow laws, including the case of Shelley v. Kramer, where the restrictions for African Americans buying certain houses were lifted. Overall, because of Thurgood, the legal basis for segregation began to disappear. He set an example for all of us to work hard to strive for equality, and without him, many of these laws may have lasted much longer or may still be in place today.
Hi, my name is Azyah Dailey, and I'm here to talk about Kamala Harris. So Kamala Harris is not only the very first female vice president, but she's the very first African American and Asian American vice. She's an American politician and now our 19th Vice President of the United States with our newest president, Joe Biden. Kamala attended Howard University, which is one of the top historical black schools in the U.S. located in Washington, D.C. And since then, she's been breaking labels time and time again. She even was California's first black woman district attorney. A fun fact about her is that our 44th president, Barack Obama, and her are longtime buddies. Rumors even sparked that Obama considered her for a position in the Supreme Court. Kamala is a very strong independent and a great role model for females all over the country. Kamala is seen wearing pearls majority of the time, but it's not just a decorative piece, but it also has a symbolic meaning. Kamala wears her pearls to symbolize female empowerment.
Hello, my name is Alicia Kowalski, and I will be talking about the well-known historical figure, Barack Obama. Obama is an American politician and attorney who served as the 44th President of the United States from 2009 to 2017. As a member of the Democratic Party, Obama was the first African American President of the United States. He became an important historical figure with his election, although his accomplishments in office since securing a second term in 2012 have made him one of the most transformative leaders of the past century. Through the Great Recession, civil strife, a wave of mass shootings, and shifting cultural demographics, he took office and led the nation. He called for reform in the 2008 campaign, and with this brought a better and more successful nation.
Hi, I'm Axel Dillomes, and I will be talking about the legendary Tuskegee Airmen. In the 1940s, the United States military, like so much of the nation, was segregated. The so-called Jim Crow laws kept blacks from entering public places such as libraries, restaurants, and movie theaters. Although African Americans served in the United States Armed Forces, they were restricted in the types of jobs and positions they could hold. On April 3, 1939, President Roosevelt approved the Public Law 18 that provided for an expansion of the Army Air Corps. One section of the law offered hope for those African Americans who wanted to advance their military careers beyond the kitchen or the motor pool. The first black fighter squadron was made, known as the Tuskegee Airmen. During the war, the 99th Pursuit Squadron, which was later renamed the 99th Fighter Squadron, flew in the skies over the Mediterranean and Europe. The missions were primarily as bomber escorts. The 99th Fighter Squadron, also known as the Tuskegee Airmen, or Red Tails, had the distinguished record of never losing a bomber to enemy fighters. In addition to shooting down enemy attack aircraft, they also shot down the belief that African Americans were not suited to responsible military service. Later on, in 1948, President Truman ordered the desegregation of the United States military.
So who are some well-known people you know? Someone like Henrietta Lacks, a poor woman with a middle school education, made one of the greatest medical contributions ever. Her cells, taken from a cervical cancer biopsy, became the first immortal human cell line. Or someone like Oprah Winfrey, is the first African American woman to own her own production company, a talented actress nominated for an Academy Award in her first movie, television's highest paid entertainer, producer, and actress in her own television specials, or someone like Jackie Robinson. Jack Roosevelt Robinson was an American professional baseball player who became the first African American to play in Major League Baseball in the modern era. Robinson broke the baseball color line when he started at first base from the Brooklyn Dodgers on April 15, 1947.